Hi everyone, welcome to Adventures with Raven and Rowley. I'm Raven and this is Rowley. A few years ago I started this channel. During that time I was living in a fifth wheel RV. I've lived in a Class A and a motorhome and a fifth wheel for a total of 5 years, 2.5 each approximately. The playlist is here. Nope, the playlist is here. There are 99 videos in this playlist. So, if you'd like to see those, until a little over a month ago, well, 2 months ago, we've lived almost a year full-time in the Mojave Desert in a self-converted 6x12 cargo trailer. There are 73 videos in that playlist. If you'd like to see it, it should be right here somewhere. Okay. Last week I talked about pet ownership, especially dogs in Switzerland. This week I'm going to talk exclusively about Rowley the Brave, Sir Rowley the Brave, my partner on this channel. If you're curious, please join us on this journey and continue to watch. I usually end a video with the Rowley report. This time I'll begin it with his report, okay? The Rowley report. I think there's a fox den here. I saw a fox last night. Last Saturday, a behavioral veterinarian came to our home to see Rowley. She was amazing, okay? She asked what behavioral issues that he had that annoyed me. He barks. He barks at everyone. Even if they've come in and sat down, he continues to bark the whole time they're here. Well, not as bad as he used to. Used to bark the whole time anybody was there. Now he shuts up sometimes and then whatever. He'll bark continuously, okay, and loudly and insistently. If he does quiet down, he'll begin his manic barking if they gesture with the hands, or they move, or they get up or whatever, right? He barks at them if they go out of the room. He barks at them when they come back into the room. Okay, he barks at everyone and everything, okay? That drives me crazy. He's very skittish. He expresses anxiety by barking, I believe, and by hiding behind my skirts. I mean, he will run and hide behind my legs. Sometimes if he's really afraid, such as when we go to the vet, he'll shiver. Otherwise, he doesn't shiver, but he's upset. He won't allow anyone other than me to touch him. I don't understand. He won't take treats from anyone either. Sometimes, even if they drop it on the ground in front of him, he will not take it. There are exceptions, of course. There is bacon, there is cheese. But even that, sometimes you'll have to drop it on the ground for him to take it, or he won't. Okay. Speaking of behavior around food, he's learned to beg from my 1-year-old great-grandson while we were living in New Jersey a month ago. He now barks at my daughter to give him a treat. He won't take it from her hand. He won't let her touch him. She can't pet him. But he's very insistent that she give him a treat. So she sits down at the table with her dinner, he will go next to her chair Even if he just finished eating his dinner, he will go to her chair and bark. She's supposed to bend down and give her some of his dinner, according to him, you know. The doctor, the doctor asked about his background and how I got him. Well, he was removed from a hoarder's home. We don't know what kind of a hoarder. We don't know if there were other animals, and if there were, what kind of other animals. I mean, it could have been chickens, whatever, goats, whatever, horses. We don't know if the hoarder was male or female, or if there was more than one person, But he was removed from the hoarder's home about 4.5 years ago. A friend who gave him to me, actually, had him for a year before he chose me. She got him from a local shelter in Nevada. He was given to her immediately after castration surgery. He wasn't even conscious, really. He had a cone around his neck and he was barely conscious. I think they just wanted to make sure he was still alive when they put him in her car. Okay, he didn't know who she was, right? She took him home as a companion to her old dog. It was a little bit smaller than Rowley, but about the same size, okay? They got into blood fights. I mean, he was fighting constantly with this other dog. He marked her house constantly. He's never marked my house, okay? He's never once he threw up in the house and he cried because he threw up in the house and he wasn't supposed to do that, He knew that. He wasn't supposed to do that. Anyway, he marked her house a lot, okay? She kept him. She valiantly kept him for a year and was considering returning him to the shelter, which she felt very bad about because she took her ownership, I guess you would call it, seriously. She wanted to keep him, but he was making life a living hell, Anyway, she kept him for a year, and then I came along. He came over, we were sitting outside during the summer, and he came over and licked my fingertips. She was amazed because he didn't let anybody touch him. He wouldn't go over to anybody. He didn't even know how to play. It's a shame, but he didn't. I took him a few months later after I had gastric bypass surgery. And I've had him almost 3.5 years now. In the 3.5 years, we've moved a minimum of 6 times. Because I was living in a RV park, we had to move the trailer every 9 months, which means he had to learn where he was living again every 9 months. When we moved out into the desert, we moved to 4 different spots because I didn't feel safe with one place. Another place, I was sitting in the middle of the flood zone, etc. One time we just moved because it was too obvious from the road. But in each instance, he had to learn where he was living, and I didn't count the desert, but as one move, We moved to New Jersey 2 months ago for a month. So he had to learn that one again. He had to learn how to get to the house, the people in the house. There were people in the house, things like that. There was the babies, grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, the children, my children. And then we moved to Switzerland. Into another house, some new people who have gone. Some of them have gone, and they were here for a month and they've now gone. So he keeps losing people. He keeps changing places, He had to learn a new environment each time, the desert, the city, and now the country. You know, it's amazing. Looking at his background, it's no wonder I don't experience anxiety more than I do. Yeah, because of all of this crazy moving. I didn't even realize I had moved that much in the last 3.5 years. She, the dog psychologist, asked if he was the dog I wanted, or did I want something else, and I got him instead. Well, to tell you the truth, originally I was looking for a female. I was surprised by that question, though. I hadn't thought about if he was the kind of dog I wanted, although after she asked, I said, yeah, I was looking for a female, but that's okay. It didn't bother me because he chose me. You know, it wasn't a matter of I chose him, he chose me, okay? But I was willing to take what I got, you know? You know, you ask the universe for something and they deliver. And so I've learned, I hope, to accept gifts graciously, like fingertip licking. Anyway, she, the behavioral psychologist, behavioral veterinarian, said that she could see why Rowley was anxious about people. We didn't know if people came into a room and treated him with kindness and then went out and came back in and beat the heck out of him, you know? Just don't know. So he's somewhere along, he's learned not to trust anyone except me. You know, she also thinks that he's about 10 years old instead of the 6 or 8 that everyone else thinks. His muzzle is getting gray, and he is getting gray hair on the top of his head. So, who knows? She suggested that he have a calming collar, which we got for him. It's got pheromones in it, which of course I can't smell, being as I'm not a dog. And some over-the-counter calming medication, natural organic stuff. There is a marked improvement in his behavior. He isn't drug relaxed like, you know, a junkie or something. He's just not as anxious as he was before. She suggested that we take him to a vet for a complete checkup, and she also suggested that we have him clicker trained, or that we do clicker training. We're in the process of contacting a trainer right now, and I've read up on clicker training on the AKC website. And clicker training is very interesting. It's only for positive reinforcement. And it was used by various Olympic teams for training their athletes. I put a link down below with the heading, Good Human, You're Learning the Fido Way, to show how they train ballerinas and other people, even people with learning disorders, using clicker training, positive reinforcement. We took him to the veterinarian on Wednesday. He's in perfect health, except he's a little overweight. Even though he's lost 3 pounds, he's down to 17 pounds now, 8.1 kilos, which is what the vets in Nevada and New Jersey said he should be, but he's still fat, you know, he's still plump. Yeah. I'm thinking that with and the doctor, the vet here in Switzerland, said that, you know, he's overweight. And I said yes, but he didn't tell me what weight he should be. I'm thinking that when his body looks like the first picture and not the second one here, then he'll be at the right weight, whatever that is, okay? He sits like an old man, you know, like an old fat dog. And he, as I said, he's so chubby. He's cute, but he's chubby. Feels good, but he's chubby. I've reduced his food by guidelines what the package says, and cut back on the snacks, you know. But we've been giving him things like strawberries and blueberries and carrots, you know. So it's not all bad. I mean, he does get a few cat treats because my daughter has cats. And believe it or not, he won't eat dog treats. Okay? The doctor bandaged his foot. You can see it here. To give it time to heal, because he's been licking it, and it's been 2 weeks now. He pulled out that toenail, and he keeps licking it, and it never heals. It just, you know, so Rowley's not happy about this bandage. I have to take it off Sunday. But the doctor says if he starts licking it on Sunday, call him on Monday. We'll rewrap him and he'll have to go with that, or maybe even have a cone. It depends, because he doesn't want him to get into the habit of licking it, you know. You notice he's got a limp. Well, at this time, though, it's not infected, and he doesn't need any antibiotics or anything. It just needs to have some time to dry out and heal naturally, you know? So training will be starting soon, clicker training for the both of us. And I'm looking forward to having the well-behaved dog I always wanted. So please subscribe and share our videos. Also, please click the like icon and the notification bell. And thanks for watching. You take care of yours, you and yours, and blessed be.